So what's going on guys, Pranav here, and in my latest video, the Sony NW105 review, a lot of people question me on how I did the floating levitating intro, and well, it is quite an easy concept but quite hard to execute properly, so here is how I did it. Now, if all you want to do is to make your devices appear to levitate in your videos, I'd recommend a video by an amazing creator called Anurag Joshi, who has made a video on the exact same topic, but he chose to go with a much more rudimentary approach. His approach, while easy, provides equally as good results as mine, so I'd recommend you check out this video after you watch this video completely. The method that Anurag chose to go with has some inherent defects. In that, what I mean is that it cannot accurately portray rotation between any planes because he's taking a still frame from the head-on view of the device. So he doesn't have the information from the sides. So all you can do is move it up and down, side to side, or rotate it like this. So I wanted to take it a step further and to rotate the device through axes. And the only way you can do this is to either 3D model the device and recreate the move in some 3D software like Blender, or to capture this in camera. So I decided to take the in-camera route because I'm not as good in Blender, to say the least. So what I did was I took a 30cm ruler and I attached it to the player using some double-sided tape up to here almost, so that I could hold the ruler and rotate it to rotate the player so that I will get a rigid object that is pretty easy to mask out while editing. And what I did was I went to my living room and I fired up my 42-inch plasma television and I screencasted my phone's display onto the television and I opened up a solid white background so that the background to the camera's field of view just seemed like a solid white void. And I placed the lights in such a way that it did not cast shadows or reflections onto the television screen, because it's a television screen, it's just a glass layer, so it will easily show reflections and it will ruin the shot. So I managed to place the light at almost a 90-degree angle from the device so as to not cast any reflections. And what I did was I placed the device at some distance away from the camera and I focused onto it, and then I took out the device, but I didn't change the focus, so it was still focused to the same distance that the player was kept at. And I captured 20 to 30 seconds of a background plate, or that is just the plain white background, so that I could cut out some of the things in the actual levitating shot and have it filled in from this background plate. And this is what I filmed. So I took the player, I placed it in front of the camera and I rotated it like this, rotated the ruler like this. I thought it would be pretty easy and I thought it would be pretty smooth because all you have to do is this. But when you place something of weight on the very edge of a ruler, it throws off its balance so that your motion is not at all going to be smooth. It's going to end up looking like this. That is not smooth at all. But I had to make do with it. I was like, this is pretty fine, I can make this work. So now, Premiere Pro has this amazing feature called Warp Stabilizer. And what that does is it analyzes the frames, checks out what's moving, what's not, what is supposed to be moving and what's not supposed to be moving, and it stabilizes according to that. And if you have something like this where the background is pretty minimal in detail and the only thing moving inside the frame is the actual subject, Premiere Pro decides that that should not be moving and it'll try to stabilize for that. So like for example, if you have me who I'm pretty dominating in the frame right now, if I were to move up and down, if I were to apply Warp Stabilizer, what it will do is it will try to lock onto my face and have it in the center of the frame so that the background would appear to move up and down. So I was like, if I apply Warp Stabilizer to this, it should work pretty fine. It will think the device should be in one position and it will try to stabilize for that. And in that case, the background will be moving up and down. But since in this case, anyway, the background is just a plain white background, you wouldn't notice the up and down motion of it. So that I thought it would work pretty fine. So I applied an instance of Warp Stabilizer with no motion as the result. And well, with my fingers crossed, I tried to render it and I played it out, and as you can see, it has totally made the up and down motion, the shakiness of my rotation almost gone. It looks as if it was done on a motion controlled rig, which is exactly what I wanted. So since this is pretty stable, and that if you actually notice, the joint between the scale and the player doesn't move vertically through the frame. So all I had to do to mask out that was a very simple mask. So if you actually see, this is all I did to mask. It's a pretty static mask. I had to only move it, and it didn't require that many keyframes either. So if I actually apply the mask, you will see that it's just a black void below. Now this wouldn't look that amazing. So if I actually enable the background plate, which I made sure to capture, and well, there you go. So that's how I did the levitating shot, and I added an adjustment layer and I applied my color grading to it, and well, by the end of it, it looks pretty amazing. And since the light was placed at a 90-degree angle, in the beginning the Sony logo has some light onto it, but as the device starts rotating, it actually fades into the dark, which I think kind of looks pretty nice. It was an unintentional, coincidental, cinematic, beautiful thing. So yeah, that was how I did the floating video intro. And well, I'm working on another video, so I will be posting that pretty soon. Thanks for watching. Thank you for the 260 subscribers. I'm very grateful to all of you who subscribed. And well, if you're a YouTube content creator and you want to communicate to a lot more smaller creators, there is a Creators Collective Discord server you can check out. Link will also be in the description. Be sure to join it, and we'll just join along and tag along with a group of smaller creators who would be very much willing to watch your videos and comment on it. So thanks for watching. This is Pranav, signing off.